related to each other. So we will start now with my god brother Damodar Das, who will glorify Srila Prabhupada, and Pujari Dev, he will be honoring and doing the arti. So Damodar Prabhuji, are you ready to lead?
I'm ready, yes.
Okay, so can you start? Sudarshan Prabhu, if you can.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Vande Moe की जय।
Jai. Anamyo Vishnupad Paramahansa Pravakachaya Shrimad His Holiness Paripuja Guru Maharaj ki jai.
जय
Namyo Vishnupad Paramahansa Pravakachaya Shrimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Jagt Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. BBD Founder Jai Jagt Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Founder Jai Jagt Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Guru Vrind ki jai. Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. So we have a wonderful evening planned by the temple devotees. So we'll have a video from Srila Prabhupada, and then we'll also have a video from Jayapataka Swami. So hopefully these are all lined up and ready to be played. Are they ready, Prabhuji? Oh, Goranga.
Maharaj, he was talking with his deity. Krishna, just like Madan Mohan. He was talking with Sanatana Goswami. Madan Mohan, Sanatana Goswami at that time had no temple. He was hanging his deity on the tree. So Madan Mohan was talking with him, Sanatana, you are bringing all these dry chapatis and it is stale and you don't give me even little salt. How can I eat? Sanatana Goswami says, sir, where shall I go? Whatever I get, I offer you. You kindly accept. I cannot move, old man. So Krishna had to eat that. Because the bhakta is offering, he cannot refuse. Jimang bhaktya prajach. Real thing is bhakti. What you can offer to Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. What you have got, what is your value? And what is the value of your things? It is nothing. Therefore, the real thing is bhaktya. Real thing is your feeling. Krishna, kindly take it. I have no qualification. I am most rotten fallen. But I have brought this thing for you. Please take. This will be accepted. Don't be perturbed. Always be careful. You are dealing with Krishna. That is my request. Thank you. Krishna Kirtana Gana Sanapano Premamritam Manidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyau Niyakarau Nirmasanau Pujitau.
Jai, what an amazing video that was. You know, Srila Prabhupada is so humble. I'm just stuck for words to describe that or even discuss. Like Sanatana Goswami offering such roti, and then Krishna saying, come on, give me a little bit of salt. And then here we are. We talk about serving langar or serving bhoga to Krishna. We're saying pizzas, pies, and here Sanatana Goswami. Honestly, my insides are just like, well, just hearing that. And then Srila Prabhupada actually, you know, in tears. And then here's Srila Prabhupada established all these temples and all these arts of offering to the Lord. I mean, the devotees travel all around the world to bring such offerings to in Mayapur, in Vrindavan, and then to Sachinan Nitai Chand, you know, in Jagannath Puri, 56 types of varieties. And then here Sanatana Goswami offering a humble roti and then saying, you know, that's it. This is me. Go Ranga. So there was going to be a video made by Haridas Prabhu on His Holiness Jayapataka Goswami Maharaj for recovery. Is that ready to play? Gaurari.
Once in a while, a great man is born. He touches the hearts of many a people. Mahatmanastu mampata Virim prakritim ashrita Bhajanti ananya manasu Yatma bhutadimamyayam. Once in a while, a great man is born. He touches the hearts of many a people. We are grateful to our sweet Krishna for sending you to save the fallen souls like us. Such a great man doesn't live for himself. He is the well-wisher of everyone. Srila Prabhupada is happy to see his son do so well. Gauranga Mahaprabhu surely blesses you for giving shelter to so many souls. Jai Nrsimha, Shri Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimha Dev, Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. Jai Nrsimha, Shri Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimha Dev, Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. We are praying for you, Maharaj, because you are a special soul, and we love you. Once in a while, a great man is born.
Jai Ho. That was an amazing video. Honestly, Haridas Prabhu, thank you very much. That was absolutely great. All our sincere thanks goes out to you for honoring such a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and gathering all these little clips is not easy to do. So thank you very much. So if all those remember from the Rath Yatras, Jayapataka Swami coming with those symbols that he was holding in some of the photos, honestly, you knew Jayapataka Swamiji was coming from the kirtan behind and coming up to you, you know, with those, because you would hear the transcendental vibrations of his symbols slowly, 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 and they were loud. So he would shatter those minds with those symbols, and then with his singing, he would purify the mind and the heart. So now we are going to go across to the temple for Sachinandan to be singing a bhajan. By the look of the screen, it looks as if he's ready. Are you ready, Pujari Dev?
Yes, I am Prabhuji.
Jai Ho. The opportunity is all yours to glorify Sachinan Nitai Chand and Radha Madhav.
Hare Krishna. গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে গৃহে থাকো রে থাকো সদা হরি বলে ডাকো গৃহে থাকো বলে থাকো সদা হরি বলে ডাকো সুখে দুঃখে ভুলো না গো বদরে হরি নাম করো রে সুখে দুঃখে ভুলো না গো বদরে হরি নাম করো রে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে মায়া জালে বদ্ধ হয়ে আছড়িছে কামড়ে মায়া জালে বদ্ধ হয়ে আছড়িছে কামড়ে এখন চেতন রাধা মাধব নাম করো রে এখন চেতন রাধা মাধব নাম করো রে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে সরে জীবন হইল সে না বুঝিলে ঋষিকেশ জীবন হইল সে না বুঝিলে ঋষিকেশ ভক্তি বিনোদন উপদেশ একবার নাম রসে মধুরে ভক্তি বিনোদন উপদেশ একবার নাম রসে মধুরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম রাম হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম রাম হরে হরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে
Jai, thank you very much, Sachinanda Prabhu. Wonderful Kirtan. So now we're going to go across to Solihull, to Pranava Prabhu and family, because in the weekday they sang a wonderful stuti of Bhishmadev. So are we ready, Pranava Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yebo. So if you would like to start.
Yes.
Shri Bhishma Vacha
Iti Matirupakal Pita Vidrishta Bhagavati Sagata Bhukave
Iti Mati Rupakal Gita Krishna Bhagavati Satvata Pundave Vibhuti
Sasukamupadate Acheti Hato Ekate Veyushiyatava Tavaha
Vasubhavu Bhagate Gati Vihaitum Prakati Rupe Yashiyatava Tavaha
Yuvanakama Yapurana Adhikana Gaura Varamberam Pradane
Viduvana Kamalam Kamala Vayanam Ravikara Gaura Varambaram Dadane
Purana Kakula Vedananajam Vijayasakera Tirastu Benavadya
Purana Kakula Vidananatham Vijaya Sakera Dinastu Me Namadya Vidura Ghar Jo Vidhumra Vishwa स्वचलुरिताश्रमवार्यलं किटास्ये उदितुरगरजो विदुम्रविश्व स्वचलुरिताश्रमवार्यलं किटास्ये विद्यमाना क्वचि विलसद्भवतिस्तु आत्मा मम निशितशरे विद्यमाना क्वचि विलसद्भवतिस्तु कृष्ण आत्मा सपदि सखिवचो निशम्यमध्ये निजपरयोर्फलयोरतं निवेशा सपदि सखिवचो निशम्यमध्ये निजपरयोर्फलयोरतं निवेशा हितवति परसे कायुरश्न हितवति पार्थ सखीरतिर्मा नसो हितवति परसे निकायुरश्न हितवति पार्थ सखीरतिर्मा नसो अवहित प्रीतनां मुखं निरीक्ष स्वजनवधार्विमुखासदोष बुद्ध्या व्यवहित प्रीतनां मुखं निरीक्ष स्वजनवधार्विमुखासदोष बुद्ध्या मतिमहरदां विद्याय चरणरति परमस्य कुमतिमहरदां विजयाय चरणरति परमासकस्मेस्तु स्वनिगमपहाय मत्प्रतिज्ञा वृतमधिकर्तुमवप्लुतो रथस्था स्वनिगमपहाय मत्प्रतिज्ञा वृतमधिकर्तुमवप्लुतो रथस्था चरत चरणो भयाचलद्गुर हरिवहन्तु विभङ्गथोतनीया चरत चरणो भयाचलद्गुर हरिवहन्तु विभङ्गथोतनीया शीतविशिखहतो विषिधनं शतजपरी कृताततायिनो मे सीताविशुखहतो विषिधनं शतजपरी कृताततायिनो मे रसभव सरसाय मार्गधार्तं सभवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्दा रसभव सरसाय मार्गधार्तं सभवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्दा विजय रथटुकुम्भ आततोत्रे जय रश्मितक्ष्रिये शनिये विजय रथटुकुम्भ आततोत्रे जय रश्मितक्ष्रिये शनिये भगवतिरतिरस्मे मुमुर्षु यमि हनिरीक्षगता गता स्वरूपम् भगवतिरतिरस्मे मुमुर्षु यमि हनिरीक्षगता स्वरूपम् ललितगति विलास बल्कुहासा प्रणय निरीक्षण कल्पितो दुमाना ललितगति विलास बल्कुहासा प्रणय निरीक्षण कल्पितो दुमाना कृतमनुकृतवल्या उन्मधाधं प्रकृतिमगलकिनियस्य गोपावद्वा कृतमनुकृतवल्या उन्मधाधं प्रकृतिमगलकिनियस्य गोपावद्वा मुनिगणनृपवल्या संयुनेत सदसि युधिष्ठिरराजसूर्य एषा मुनिगणनृपवल्या संयुनेता सदसि युधिष्ठिरराजसूर्य एषा Paveita Ikshariyo Mavajishikoshara Esha Abhiratma Ananam Veda Ikshariyo Mavajishikoshara Esha Abhiratma Dami Mamaham Sharira Bhajam Ridhi Ridhi Shchita Kalpitana Dami Mamaham Sharira Bhajam Ridhi Ridhi Shchita Kalpitana Pratijishamivanita Tyakam Samadhigatosmi Vibhuda Bheda Moha Pratijishamivanita Tyakam Samadhigatosmi Vibhuda Bheda Moha Mati Rupa Kalpita Vitushna Bhagavati Satvata Punga Vibhumi Mati Rupa Kalpita Vitushna Bhagavati Satvata Punga Vibhumi Sasuka Mupagate Kochidhi Hartum Prakti Mupeyushya Dava Pravaha Sasuka Mupagate Kochidhi Hartum Prakti Mupeyushya Dava Pravaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Nitaya Sachinandana Jaya Nitaya Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Nitaya Sachinandana Jaya Nitaya Jaya Sachinandana Jaya
Hare. Hey, Pranava Prabhu, thank you very much. That was amazing. All the devotees that have logged in, they really enjoyed that stuti. Messages are coming through saying wonderful. So thank you very much. That was a great effort by the whole family. Jai Ho. So just to go through the program, what we got yet to come, we'll have Jai Radha Madhav sung by Akai Mataji, and then we'll have a class on Bhishmadev by Vidur Prabhuji. And then the main arti will be done by the Pajari at the temple, and the Kirtans will be done by Haridas Prabhuji and family. And then Nrsingadev Arti, the prayers will be sung by Jai Radhe. So we got all that wonderful program to go through. So I was listening, like such an ecstatic programs going on, and I remembered something. Like close to London, there's some woods called, I might forget the name, and devotees can Google it themselves. It's called Oxley Woods or something. According to the Heritage Trust, they're like 8,000 years old, these woods. And they say we need to take care of them before they disappear. Well, they lasted 8,000 years before man's intervention and polluting the planet. So I'm sure they will last further. But there was volunteers. They were trimming the foliage that was overgrowing and interrupting. Yeah, they were interrupting the growth of the trees. So they wanted these woods to last longer. But where are these volunteers? You know, in Bharat, in Kurukshetra, where the tree there, he heard the whole of the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So if these volunteers want to serve trees, go and serve that tree in the benefit of Shri Satyanand Nitai Chand, Gaura Hari, Shri Radha Madhav, and Krishna. If you really want to be doing pious activities, you know, let's go and serve that. They say these woods are 8,000 years old. We want them to last longer. They will last longer if you leave them alone without interfering with it, because nobody interfered with it before and they lasted long enough on their own. So while they are lasting, awaken your own for your Atma. Go and search for Paramatma. So I was just remembering that while these Kirtans were going on, because Bhishmadev, you know, he lay down on a bed of arrows in Kurukshetra. So now we'll go to the next bit. We'll go to Akai Mataji singing Jai Radha Madhav just before class. Is Mataji Jai Gauranga?
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Gauranga. Thank you, dear sister. I think I'll mispronounce your name. You'll have to forgive me because my kids are telling me off. I got the pronunciation wrong. Aki?
Yeah, that's right, Prabhuji.
Oh, sorry. I think I paid too much emphasis on the A and I got told off my kids. So
That's all right.
Gauranga, sorry. Thank you for the bhajan. Now we will move to Vidar Prabhuji, who will bless our ears for the glorification of Bhishmadev.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Vidar Prabhuji.
Hare Bol.
You know, like I was saying before the program, I've got a black canvas. I'm gonna, if you send me a photo from the back, it'll be like if I'm sitting in the library. Honestly, that's a wonderful backdrop with the Srila Prabhupada's books.
Yeah. I'm happy with my collection. Thank you.
It's wonderful, honestly.
Yes, I like reading.
Over to
Thank you. So today's subject matter is wonderful subject from Srimad Bhagavatam, the Stuti by Bhishmadev on the bed of arrows, just before his departure. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaymudirayet Nashta Prayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtiki. So Srimad Bhagavatam is such a wonderful book. And we were remembering this just yesterday or the day before that it's full of something called stuti. Stuti means glorification. So Bhagavatam is full of stuti by different personalities glorifying the Supreme Lord in different ways. So today is Bhishma Stuti, and that's what was sung by Pranava and family just so beautifully just a few minutes ago. And I've suddenly developed a huge attraction to this particular stuti, just because we had the festival of Makar Sankranti just a few days ago. So Makar Sankranti means a day when the sun, in its passage around in a year, moves from the northern path to the from the southern path to the northern path. So that point is marked as Makar Sankranti, and it's a great festival in Bharat, India. You know, lots of kite flying, and different regions have different favorite preparations they make. You know, so it's a wonderful period. Makar Sankranti. So a little background of before coming to Vishnu Stuti, the background of how we came to that point would be very useful. So in December, we had Gita Jayanti. Actually, this year it was on Christmas Day itself, which was wonderful. So Gita Jayanti means just before the Mahabharata Yudh was about to start. So Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. And then the war started and it lasted 18 days. On the 9th day, Duryodhana was upset that how come all the Pandavas are still alive? Surely one of them must have been killed by now. So he was upset, and he went to Bhishma Dev, and almost like insulting him, you know, belittling him. And so Bhishma Dev then decided, okay. Then he made a promise that tomorrow I will do something serious with the Pandavas, and otherwise my name is not Bhishma. I will do something tomorrow. If I fail, you know, this is my promise. This is my promise to you, that one of the Pandavas will at least be dead tomorrow. So there's some lila there, some pastime there. So on the 10th day, Bhishma fought so hard. He fought so ferociously. Krishna, who had promised not to fight, Krishna had promised before the battle, when both Duryodhana and Arjuna approached him to come on, to be on their side. Krishna said, you can have either my army, you can have me. I will not fight. Take your pick. So Arjuna immediately picked Krishna. He said, I have no interest in your army. I'm interested in you. And Duryodhana was happy because he wanted the army. So excuse me, just lost my train of thought there. So the war started. The war happened, right? The war happened, and on the 10th, he fought so ferociously, that he was about to do serious injury to Arjuna. And Krishna at this point got off his chariot, picked up a broken wheel for another chariot, spun it on his finger like it was Sudarshan Chakra, and he ran towards Bhishma. And Bhishma was so mesmerized by this scene of Krishna was rushing to him. He says, I made Krishna break his promise. Krishna, and there's a little later in this stuti of Bhishma, that there is one of the items he glorifies is that Krishna broke his promise to keep my promise, because Bhishma promised Duryodhana, I will kill the Pandavas. So but Krishna promised, I will not pick up arms. So Bhishma was Bhishma praised, he fought so hard. Krishna picked up the chariot wheel as a weapon, ran towards Bhishma, and Bhishma was just mesmerized by this. And says, Krishna broke his promise to fulfill my promise, to uphold my promise. So that's the battlefield. But that day, Bhishma fell on the battlefield. Arjuna shot so many arrows into Bhishma that Bhishma fell back with so many arrows penetrating his body, and they formed a bed of arrows. It was a bed of arrows Bhishma lay down on that on the 10th day. 8 more days of fighting, then the battle finished, and then all the things which happened afterwards, then returned to Hastinapur, and Yudhishthira was crowned. Yudhishthira was crowned. You know, he was now the emperor of the world. He was the kingdom was his, but Yudhishthira was one very unhappy person. He was incredibly unhappy. Because so many people in the Mahabharata, it says 640 million soldiers died. 640 million, and then it says thousands more are missing. We know that in the battle, and sometimes so many, the fighting is so fierce that there are dead soldiers around you, but there are many who are missing. You don't know what's happened to them. So that was, and no amount of counseling could make Yudhishthira feel any happier. So at some point, Krishna had to return back to Dwarka. That was very, that's where his subjects were, in Dwarka. So then Kunti came and she did the stuti. This is Kunti's stuti to Krishna. Beautiful, very beautiful. And that's just a chapter before Krishna's stuti. But at the end of that, what's happening? So Krishna heard all this beautiful stuti from Kunti Devi, and then it says, thus accepting the praise of Srimati Kunti Devi, the Lord subsequently informed others of his departure by entering the palace of Hastinapur. So by entering the Hastinapur palace, he was announcing his readiness to leave. But upon preparing to leave, what happened? He was stopped by King Yudhishthira. He was someone who implored him lovingly. So the devotees can change the Lord's plan. Krishna was about to return, and Yudhishthira implored him, please stay. So he said, so King Yudhishthira, who was very much aggrieved, could not be convinced, despite instructions by great sages headed by Vyasadeva and Lord Krishna himself. Lord Krishna and Vyasadeva themselves are trying to console Yudhishthira, but he was so disturbed in mind at the magnitude of the loss of people. So, and in their appealing to him, consoling him, Vyasadeva, and they would give like different historical, evidences, citing previous examples. But Yudhishthira wasn't having any of it. So now we turn to first canto, chapter 9, Srimad Bhagavatam. The passing away of Bhishmadev in the presence of Lord Krishna. And I must applaud Srila Prabhupada for his translations. Just the title here is wonderful. It could have simply been the passing away of Bhishmadev. That could have been a nice simple title, passing away of Bhishmadev. Instead, it is the passing away of Bhishmadev. What is the special feature about this? In the presence of Lord Krishna. That's the special nature of this. Passing away of Bhishmadev in the presence of Lord Krishna. This is beautiful. So Sut Goswami said, being afraid for having killed so many subjects on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Maharaj Yudhishthira went to the scene of the massacre. He went back to Kurukshetra. Bhishma is still lying there. This is Makar Sankranti period. Okay, this is mid-January. But Bhishma falling down was in December. So many days. There, Bhishmadev was lying on a bed of arrows about to pass away. But you must know, it wasn't that nature would take its course and death will come and he'll pass away. No, Bhishmadev, he was given a boon by his father that he can choose a moment of his passing away. Death was in his hands. That's Bhishma never had that. That was in his hands when he departs. And so he went ahead, to Kurukshetra. But it doesn't say here, but it was under the direction of Krishna. Under the direction of Krishna, he went to Bhishma. At that time, all his brothers also followed him on beautiful chariots drawn by first-class horses decorated with gold ornaments. Now, this is very, very interesting. It wasn't just the Pandav brothers. Who else went with them? With them were Vyasdev and rishis like Dhaumya, who was a learned priest of the Pandavas, and others. Lots of other people went. O sage amongst the Brahmins, Lord Shri Krishna, the personal God, also followed, seated on a chariot with Arjuna. Thus King Yudhishthira appeared very aristocratic, like Kuve, surrounded by companions, my companions, the Guyaks. So they reach the scene, and they're seeing Bhishma lying down on a bed of arrows. He's the senior most. He was a great grandfather, grandsire. So that they paid the respects to him, and Krishna also paid the respect to Bhishma. He's honoring Bhishma also. What does Bhishma do? But just before that, if you go up a bit, please. Just to see the descendants of King Bharat, Bhishma. Just to see the chief of the descendants of King Bharat, because this is Bharat was named after Bharat, right? Who else came? This is a fascinating read. Who else was there? Yes, Bhishma Devi is there, then the Pandavas are there, Krishna is there, but then who else was there? This is fascinating. All the great souls in the universe, namely the rishis among the demigods, the Brahm rishis, the Dev rishis. Let me just find the verse there. It says here, actually, in the Sanskrit was saying, Tatra Brahm Rishya Sarve, Dev Rishya Cha Satam, Raj Rishya Cha Tatra Sam Drastum Bharata Pungavadam. So, it's the Brahm, namely the Brahm Rishis, the Dev Rishis, the Raj Rishis. These great personalities assembled them. Yudhishthira didn't send a message out, I'm going to, Kurukshetra, please, all of you come. He didn't. These great personalities, by the mystic power, that were perfection of the spiritual practice, they realized something wonderful was about to happen. They all assembled there. Who are some of these people? All the sages like Parvat Muni, Narad Muni, Dhaumya, Vyas, Brihasdashva, Bharadvaj, Parshuram, and disciples Vashisht, Indrapramad, Trita, Ritasmad, Asit, Kakshivan, Gautam, Atri, Kaushik, and Sudarshan were present. And many more. Many others like Shukdev Goswami, another purified souls, Kashyap, Angiras, son of Angira, and others, all accompanied by respected disciples, arrived there. Amazing. Now, do you notice from this, one of the persons who arrived, who was that? Parshuram with his disciples. Parshuram. Who is Parshuram? Parshuram is one of the spiritual masters, one of Bhishma there. So Bhishma there is his disciple. Bhishma learned some of the fighting skills from Parshuram. Yet at this gathering, Parshuram arrived. He came, he brought his disciples, and then later, in next verse, it says, other great personalities came with their disciples. This gathering is similar to the gathering of the beginning of Bhagavatam. The beginning of Bhagavatam is when Parikshit renounces his kingdom because he's got 7 days to live. So he goes to the Ganga to meditate. And there's going to be another another great gathering of saints, saintly people and rishis. As it says here, Pram rishis, Dev rishis. Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Siddhu rishis, they all gathered there. They all gathered there because there is going to be an extraordinary exchange, you know, between Shukta Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. These personalities are gathered there. That's so amazing. So, so there is two amazing gatherings, and the amazing thing is, you know, Parshuram is going there because his disciple is there, and there's going to be something wonderful happening there, and these rishis didn't want to didn't want to miss this. So they went there, and this was amazing. And then there's some exchange. And an exchange. One thing is Bhishmadev, always lying on a bed of arrows, he sees all his personalities. And what does he do? Bhishmadev is one of the 8, he's described as one of the 8 Vasus. There are eight Vasus, he's one of them. And there's a history of how that Vasu came down to the earth planet. He received and welcomed all the great powerful rishis who are assembled there, for he knew perfectly all the religious principles are going to come in place. Now think about this. He's receiving them, but he's lying on a bed of arrows. He's lying. He couldn't do it physically, what he would normally do when he was well. So with words and mentally, he was honoring all these great personalities, right? Okay, and then he said, Lord Shri Krishna is situated in everyone's heart. There is open. He is situated in everyone. It's a beautiful picture there. Beautiful picture there. Look at that. Lord Shri Krishna is situated in everyone's heart, yet he manifests his transcendental form by his internal potency, Yogmaya. This very Lord was sitting before Bhishmadev. And since Bhishmadev knew of his glories, he worshipped him duly. Again, mentally, we're worshipping Krishna. Yeah. So we know that the Lord is in heart, Paramatma is in everyone's heart. Yes. Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddhya rajuna tishtati. Sarvasicham riddhi sanivishto mata smriti jnanam aponam. Krishna is in everyone's heart. Right? But he also he manifested himself personally before in his Swayam Rup before Bhishmadev. He's manifesting himself there. He's there personally present. And Bhishmadev is honoring that. He's really, really honoring that. Yeah. So moving a few verses on. So there is a little exchange there between Bhishma and Yudhishthir there. And then in that exchange, verse 16. Verse 16, if you can roll up the screen. This is beautiful. So Bhishma is speaking to Yudhishthir, who's the king. He's the Raja. He's the Maharaja, the emperor. He says, "Oh king, no," because remember Yudhishthir is feeling very dejected. So he used to bring his spirits up and explain. "Oh king, no one can know the plan of Lord Shri Krishna." Yudhishthir was thinking. He was thinking that he had accrued a lot of sin through all the killing at Kurukshetra. So Bhishma has to bring him up to a normal state of mind. So no one can know the plan of Lord Shri Krishna, even though great philosophers inquire exhaustively. They are bewildered. To know Krishna is not easy. Great philosophers inquire exhaustively. They are still bewildered. O best among the descendants of Bharat, I maintain therefore that all this is within. Okay, we jumped there. And so now he's telling me, accepting the inconceivable plan of the Lord, you must follow it. He's telling Bhishma, follow it. This is the will of the Lord. There's a beautiful picture there of, earlier on in the battle, on the 10th day of the battle, like Krishna breaking his promise to not to pick up arms, and Bhishma there is just relishing this moment, this sight, this beautiful darshan. He's loving it. He's loving it. Now, so here he's advising Arjun, Yudhishthira, you are now the appointed administrative head, and my lord, you should now take care of those subjects who are now rendered helpless. This is a duty of a leader of a nation, of a kingdom. He must take care of his subjects. He must take care of, unlike you see nowadays around the world, people love the power, the prestige, and the wealth of being in high posts, but they don't want to really carry out the duties of statesmanship. They don't. They're not taking care of the citizens. And then the next verse is beautiful. This Shri Krishna, he's telling you this thing. That Shri Krishna, and that you see in the picture, is no other than inconceivable original personality of God, and he is the first Narayan, the supreme enjoyer. But he's moving amongst the descendants of King Vrishni, just like one of us, and he is bewildering us with his self-created energy. Yeah. To understand Krishna is not that easy. The next one is, O King, even Lord Shiva, Narad, who's the sage among the demigods, and Kapil, the incarnation of Godhead, who expounded the philosophy of Sankhya, all know very confidentially about his glories through direct contact. So O King, that personality whom out of ignorance only you thought to be your maternal cousin, your very dear friend, well-wisher, counselor, messenger, benefactor, is that very personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. Don't, no one should make the mistake of thinking, yes, I read Bhagavad Gita, now I know who Krishna is. It is foolish. It is foolish. Don't please make that mistake. Text 23 is beautiful. Text 23 is beautiful, right? This is the subject and main focus of this chapter, 23. The personality of Godhead who appears in the mind of the devotees. Dear friends, is Krishna in your mind? Is he? And but how can it be in your mind? By this, by attentive devotion and meditation, and by chanting of the holy name. The personality of Godhead who appears in the mind of the devotee by what? Attentive devotion and meditation, and by chanting of the holy name. Processes which Prabhupada has given us. Beautiful. Releases the devotee from the bondage of fruitive activities. There's a lot of karma we may have done in the past. And we want to get rid of that karma. Yes. He releases the devotee from the bondage of fruitive activities at the time of his quitting the material body. We want that. When our moment comes, we don't want a baggage of karma around us. We don't want that. But here it's saying how you can achieve that by attentive devotion, meditation, chanting of the holy names, especially Maha Mantra. Yeah. Next one also, next one is connected. Next one is connected. May my Lord, who is four-handed and whose beautifully decorated lotus face with eyes as red as a rising sun is smiling, kindly await me, wait for me at that moment when I quit this material body. When I quit this material body. So Bhishma is incredibly fortunate that Krishna is there. The moment he was waiting for the sun to move from the southern path to the northern path, was soon to come. And the Lord of his meditation, he was there in front of him. Wow. And how does he want to meditate on me? How does he want to see him smiling? What's the Sanskrit says? Prasanna hasa. Prasanna hasa. Prasanna hasa. That's how he wants to see him smiling. And what the other word is pratikshatam. Wait. Please wait here, my Lord. Do pratiksha for me. Wait here until the moment comes. And be there smiling. Be there smiling. This is how I want to see you. This is how I want to quit my body. And then Yudhishthira is encouraged to now, while Bhishma is there, ask his questions. And that's a whole another subject matter, and the details are in the Mahabharata. They're briefly described here, where Yudhishthira asks lots of questions pertaining to how about dharma, niti shastra, everything about the statesmanship running a kingdom. So that is briefly described here, but in detail in the Mahabharata. Now, from text 32 is when Bhishma Stuti starts. Text 32, I'm just thinking. So actually go to text 29. Text 29. Just check what time it is. Fine. Okay. Text 29. So after Yudhishthira asked loads of questions and Bhishma has answered the questions and given direction to Yudhishthira, in text 29, that moment has come, the sun's passage into the northern hemisphere. While Bhishma was describing occupational duties, the sun's course ran into the northern hemisphere. This period is desired by mystics who die at their will. Okay, so this is what Krishna summarized in Bhagavad Gita chapter 8. The mystic yogis, when they choose when to depart from this world. So this moment had arrived. Thereupon, now this is what a glorification of Bhishma. Thereupon the man who spoke on different subjects with thousands of meanings and who fought on thousands of battlefields. Bhishma had so many battles to fight in his life, so many fights he had to put up with. And who protected thousands of men. He stopped speaking and being completely freed from all bondage, withdrew his mind from everything else and fixed his wide open eyes upon the original personal Goddess Shri Krishna that is sitting in front of him, Krishna, who stood before him, four-handed, because Bhishma desired that. He wanted to see the four-handed form of Narayan, dressed in yellow garments that glittered and shined. So Krishna fulfills his devotees' desires. He fulfills his devotees' desires. It's beautiful. And then text 30 by By pure meditation, 31, looking at Shri Krishna, he at once was free from all material inauspiciousness and was relieved of all bodily pains caused by the arrow wounds. Lying on a bed of arrows for so many days is not painless. It's painful, but a great Kshatriya can tolerate this pain. There's also a story of Karn, who was made his thighs available to Parshuram, his guru, to take rest as a pillow, and an insect was biting him, bit into his arms, and there's great pain, but he tolerated it because his guru was sleeping on his thighs. So he says, "I'll tolerate the pain." So Kshatriyas can tolerate pain, right? But don't underestimate, how tough they are. How tough they are. Krishna, so many days lying on a bed of arrows. Thus, all the external, but by this meditation on Lord Shri Krishna, he was relieved of all bodily pains caused by the arrow wounds. Thus, all the external activities of his senses at once stopped, and he prayed transcendentally to the control of all living beings while quitting his material body. He's not there yet, because the main Bhishma Stuti is yet to come. It's about to start. This 32, we should pay focus on this. Okay, we should focus on Bhishma Dev said. This is Bhishma Stuti. Shri Bhishma Uvacha. Right? This is it. This is where it starts. And this is what was sung so beautifully by Pranav and family, Sudarshan Titeksha. Wonderful. Well done. I think even Satya was singing in the background. So thank you, family. There are so many lovely compliments from so many devotees saying, singing was beautiful. And we would like to hear it again sometime, sometime in the future. Please do so. So now this is Bhishma Stuti. I will try with my humble effort. Shri Bhishma Vacha Itimatir Upakalpita Vitrishana Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhuni Swasukam Upagate Kvachid Vihartum Prakritim Upayeshu Yadbhava Pravaha. So that's the first shloka. Look at the translation. Bhishma Dev said, "Let me now invest my thinking, feeling, and willing, which was so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties." That's our lives. So many things our mind is engaged in. So many things our mind is engaged in throughout our lives. Bhishma is saying, I want to stop that now. Let me now invest all my thinking, feeling, and willing, which was so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties. We all have occupational duties. We have duties to our family. We have duties to our place of work, our place of business. So we have so many different things we have to take care of. But at this point, Bhishma is saying, no, I need to. My mind was there on all these different subjects and duties, but now let me invest my thinking in the all-powerful Lord Krishna. He is always self-satisfied, but sometimes being the leader of the devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending to this material world for the pleasure of his devotees. Although for him, only the material world is created. He's the creator of the material world, but now and then he descends to the material world, primarily for the pleasure of his devotees who are missing him so much. There's many verses there. They're worth studying. Please go away and do study the Bhishma Stuti. It's beautiful. But I'm going towards the end now of the Stuti. he says many things. Vishnu is glorifying Krishna and everything through many, many verses. But I'm now jumping to the end. 42, text 42. Come down a bit, please, so others can view it. Text 42. Sudarshan Pranava. I'll read from the book. So at the end of his stuti, he said that beautiful thing, let me focus everything. When my mind was so focused on many other things, I want to now focus solely on Krishna. Now, on 42, he's saying, now I can meditate with full concentration upon that one Lord, Shri Krishna, now present before me, because now I have transcended the misconception of duality in regard to his presence in everyone's heart. Again, Lord in the heart. Yeah. Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. Even in the hearts of the mental speculators. He is in everyone's heart. The sun may be perceived differently, but the sun is one. The sun is one. Okay. Then what happens? So those were the last words of Bhishmadev. That stuti is wonderful, is worth studying again and again. There was a very nice devotee in the early years of our yatra. He used to come. He came a few times to our temple. His name was Dinadi Atma Prabhu. And he loved speaking on the Bhagavatam. And one of his visits, he spoke about a famous temple in Guruvayu. I haven't been there, but it's my strong desire to go there one day. And he said the sadhus there, they love the Bhagavatam. They absolutely love the Bhagavatam. They can spend days, weeks, months on just a small section of it. And this particular time he was speaking, he was saying his experience that he was talking about Bhishma Stuti. They would speak just about Bhishma Stuti for days and weeks. That's how much information is packed in these verses. So please do make an effort to study this stuti, other stutis, like I said, the Kunti stuti, it's wonderful. Bhagavatam is a kalpavriksha. Nigama kalpataro galitam phalam. It's ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge. Take it seriously, study it, please. So then what happens? Bhishmadev, Sutta Goswami is saying, thus Bhishmadev merged himself in the super soul Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with his mind, speech, sight, actions. Thus he became silent and his breathing stopped. Breathing stopped. This is passing away of a great soul. And all those sadhus, rishis, Dev rishis, Brahm rishis, Raj rishis, many others, they came, they were there to witness this. And that they saw the passing away of a great personalities. We say great, by the way, one of his titles, Bhishmadev, is Mahajan. There are 12 Mahajans. Bhishmadev is one of them. They are great personalities. Knowing that Bhishmadev had merged into the unlimited eternity of the Supreme Absolute, at all present there became silent, like birds at the end of the day. Then the demigods and other people, they honored Bhishmadev. I'm just jumping for a few verses here. And then go to text 47. I want to talk about no, that's the wrong chapter, Prabhu. That's chapter 8. Okay, you need to go to chapter 9. So Vishnu has left his body. Then there was so much, all the demigods showered flowers upon him. There was sadness, and then all the great sages, all those persons who were there, what did they do? What did they do? All the great sages then glorified Lord Shri Krishna. They were there. They witnessed this wonderful event. What did they do? They glorified Lord Shri Krishna, because they know the scriptures by heart. They know the scripture by heart. They sang, this glorified Lord Krishna, who was present there by confidential Vedic hymns. Sadhus, confidential Vedic hymns. Then what happened? All of them returned to their respective hermitages, bearing always Lord Krishna within their hearts. They came. They sensed there was something wonderful was about to happen. They came. They witnessed it. They heard it. They heard it. Then at the end, Krishna's still there. So they glorified him with Vedic hymns, using stutis. Vedic hymns, they glorified him. And then they all returned to their respective hermitages, bearing always Krishna in their heart. Yes, we should learn. We should learn. We should live our lives in such a way as directed by Srila Prabhupada, so that Krishna does become tangibly present in your heart, that you can tangibly feel him in your heart. We read is there all of the time, but we need to make it a real experience of the Lord in the heart. You got to make it real. So if it's in your heart, and wherever you are, wherever you go in the world, whether you're at work, your business, everywhere, Krishna's in your heart. You need to feel him. You need to feel him. Feel him. Talk to him. He said, he is, of all the people in the world, there is no one closer to you than the Lord in the heart. We say our soulmates, soul partners, our dharmpatis, they are there. Krishna is there. You can't get any closer than that. So this is amazing. All these great personalities, they return to the respective hermitages, bearing always Lord Krishna within their hearts and talking about this great event they witnessed. This great event they witnessed. And another, just a few more minutes, couple of additional points to note here. Generally, when someone is about to speak some spiritual wisdom, right? Generally, they're sitting on an asana. They sit on an asana. Here, Bhishma Dev is lying down on a bed of arrows. He's lying down. So, etiquette-wise, it's the wrong. It's the wrong thing to do. General etiquette says, if you're going to speak words of wisdom, you're going to sit up, please, and sit on an asana, and then give that Vedic wisdom. But here also, this is classed as a great event. That conventional etiquette is to take second place when a great event like this is happening. And do you know who else did that? Our Srila Prabhupada. Our Prabhupada, his passing was so similar to Vishwadev's, in one sense. He was on that bed, and this is famous. The room is preserved in Vrindavan. Those who have been, it's a wonderful room to go to. Prabhupada's, rooms. One of them is his bedroom. That bed where he was actually lying till the last moment. The last moment he was lying down, he was speaking. He was translating. He was speaking. He was speaking spiritual wisdom. Such great personalities. We are so proud and so honored to be in this movement. And Prabhupada's, what can we say, is a Vaikuntha man. He's a very good man, and we really must take him, take his teaching seriously. Learn from this Bhishma Stuti. I implore you, please, study this Stuti and other Stutis, and take them to heart. And then Krishna will also take seat in your heart. So Hare Krishna. I will stop there. There is so much more that can be said, but we'll stop there. Hare Krishna. If I made any mistakes, please forgive me.
Jai Gauranga. Thank you very much, Vidra Prabhuji. That was a wonderful class. I don't believe there is any questions come through, anybody asking, but you made some wonderful points. And I hope all the devotees that are listening cherish them and put them into the core of their heart. So I sincerely thank you very much, Vidra Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class of Bhishma Dev leaving this planet. So now we're going to go over to the temple for the main arti. I can see the Pujari Dev is ready. So if we can blow the conchal, I think Haridas Prabhu and family are ready. Jai Gauranga.
Jai Ho. Radhe Radhe.
Jai Shri Radhe. Jai. So are we ready to start?
We are ready.
Bless our ears with the harmonium Sankirtan.
Minus the harmoniums, Mardanga and cymbals today.
Yes, Kirtan. Jai Ho.
Okay.
So Pujari Dev.
He's ready.
Jai Stan. Gaurari.
Kiba Jayo, Jayo, Gora Chande, Aroti Kashoba. Jadavita Tavani Jagamanaloba Dakhine Nitai Chan Vame Gadadara Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasa Chatradara Vasi Ache Gora Chan Ratna Singasani Aroti Korina Brahma Adi Deva Gani Arati Korina Brahma Adi Deva Gani Narari Adi Kori Chamara Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Goshadhigaya Sanjaya Mukunda Goshadhigaya Shankha Baje Ganta Baje Baje Karata Ujjvala. Hey, Gala Dese Banamala Kore Jalamala Shuka Narada Preme Gada Gada Shuka Narada Preme Gada Gada Hey Bhagati Vinoda Devi Gaurara Sampada Bhagati Vinoda Devi Gaurara Sampada Diva Jayo Jayo Gaura Chandi Aroti Kashobha Jayo Gaura Chandi Aroti Kashobha Janavi Tata Vani Jagamanaloba Janavi Adamani Jagamanaloba Gorange Aroti Shobha Jagajanamanaloba Aroti Shobha Gorange Aroti Shobha Jagajanamanaloba 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 Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur
Namayom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Putale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine
Namayom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Deve
Prabhupada
Kauravani Pracharine
Prabhupada
Nirvashesha Shunnavadi Paschachadi Shatarine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvashesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadarine
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Bolo Gaura Hari
Gaura Hari
Bolo Gaura Hari
Gaura Hari
Oh Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari
Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari
Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari
Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari
Jaya Nitai Chan Jai Nitai Chan
Jaya Nitai Chan Jai Nitai Chan
Jaya Nitai Chan Jai Nitai Chan
Jaya Nitai Chan Jaya Nitai Chan
Bolo Gaura
Arriba.
Hari Gaura Gaura Hari Gaura 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 Hari Oh Gaura 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 Hari Gaura 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 Hari Jagannath 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 Baladev Subhadra Baladev Subhadra Oh Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Gopal 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 Gopal
Gopal
Govardhan, Jayo Giri Govardhan.
Jayo Giri
Shri Madhusudan.
Jayo Shri Madhusudan, Shri Madhusudan, Shri Madhusudan, Jayo Shri Madhusudan.
Jayo Mani Ma, Mani Ma, Mani Ma, Jayo Mani Ma.
Jayo Mani Ma, Mani Ma, Mani Ma, Jayo Mani Ma.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Oh, Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
जीन लिया मेरा बोला सामन राधा रमन प्यारो राधा रमन
छीन लिया मेरा बोला सामन राधा रमन प्यारो राधा रमन
प्यारो राधा रमन प्यारो राधा रमन
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 प्यारो राधा रमन प्यारो राधा रमन
राधा रमन प्यारो राधा रमन
छीन लिया मेरा बोला सामन राधा रमन प्यारो राधा रमन
छीन लिया मेरा बोला समन राधा रमन प्यारो राधा रमन
रघुनंदन राघव राम हरे सिया राम हरे सिया राम हरे
रघुनंदन राघव राम हरे सिया राम हरे सिया राम हरे
रघुनंदन राघव राम हरे सिया राम हरे सिया राम हरे
रघुनंदन राघव राम हरे
सिया राम हरे सिया राम हरे सिया राम हरे सिया राम हरे
सिया राम हरे सिया राम हरे सिया राम हरे सिया राम हरे
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
बोलो श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओ श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओ श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओ श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. Bolo Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Jai 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 Shri Radhe
Jai 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 Shri Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Jai 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 Shri Radhe
Jai 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 Shri Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Jai 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 Shri Radhe
Jai 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 Shri Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Jai 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 Shri Radhe
Jai 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 Shri Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe
Jai 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 Shri Radhe
Jai 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 Shri Radhe
Bolo Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe Radhe
Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram
Nitai Gaurango Nitai Gaurango
Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga
Nitai Gaurango Nitai Gauranga
Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga
Gaura 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 Hare
Gaura 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 Hare
Gaura 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 Hare
Gaura 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 Hare
Patite Pavana Gaura Hare
Patite Pavana Gaura Hare
Jagana 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 Jagana
Jagana Jagana Jagana Jagana
Baladev Subhadra Baladev Subhadra
Baladev Subhadra Baladev Subhadra
Jagana Jagana Baladev Subhadra
Jagana Jagana Baladev Subhadra
Jagana Jagana Baladev Subhadra Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jayo Jagadguru
Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jagadguru
Jayo Prabhupada 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 Jayo Jagadguru
Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jagadguru
Jaya Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Jayo Patite Pavan
Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Jaya Patite Pavan
Gurudev 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 Gurudev
Gurudev Gurudev Gurudev Gurudev
Nitai Gora Haribo
Nitai Gaur
Haribo
Nitai Gaur
Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Haribo
Haribol 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 Haribol
Haribo Vishnupad Paramhans Parivargacharya Stotra Sachi Shrimad His Divine Grace Aboy Charanarvinda Srila Prabhupada founder chair of ISKCON Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai Jai.
BBT founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramhans Paravaragacharya Stotra Sachishmas Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Anant Kori Vaishnav Vrinda ki.
Jai.
Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki.
Jai.
Sri Vrindavan Dham ki. Mathura Dham ki. Jagannath Puri Dham ki. Mayapur Dham ki. गंगामयी जमुनामयी सरस्वती देवी तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी महारानी की पांच तत्व की जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा की इस्कॉन कॉवेंट्री यात्रा की हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की बुक ट्रांसलेटेड बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की भगवद गीता की श्रीमद् भागवतम की चैतन्य चरितामृत की श्री रामायण की सनातन धर्म की भारत माँ की गौ माता की इस्कॉन कॉवेंट्री यात्रा की इस्कॉन वर्ल्ड वाइड यात्रा की संडे जूम प्रोग्राम की All glories to the assembled Zoom devotees. All glories to the assembled Zoom devotees. All glories to the glorious devotees. Guru and Gauranga ki jai ho, jai Sri Radhe.
Jai. Oh, they've unmuted me. Jai Ho, that was great. Honestly, it was like being back in the temple. I miss that kind of mode. You know, there's so much like all this. And this is, I don't know about anybody else. If lockdowns are like this, it's okay.
Yes, yes.
If you can associate with devotees over the Zoom, then it's not too bad, you know, because we've been reading the Krishna book, and then you got the Sunday program, then you got the book club. So it can't be that bad. This is the vaccine.
True.
Honestly, it's been great. Thank you very much. I really, really enjoyed it. Jai, thank you. Gauranga. Now we're going to go to Lord Nrsingadev prayers. Vidar Prabhu, is there any, I know there's Vidar Prabhu, Jai Ho, thank you.
Okay, the usual name is His Holiness Japatak Swami. His care team, who many of whom are infected. Some devotees around the world, and many recently departed souls. There's so many names actually, and devotees, you know, who also need to be remembered for good health is Prem Manjari, Kachubai Vagela, Chandrathari, and especially this last few days we'll be remembering Makibai Odetra, beloved Ba of the Odetra family, you know, who are so close to us. So,
thank you, Vidar Prabhu.
now, of course, Ken Prabhu.
Oh, Jai Ho, Jai. Speedy recovery for Canberra. Is Jai Radhe ready? I think it was Jai Radhe doing the Lord Nrsingadev prayers.
Unmute. Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Bol.
Not staying. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Namaste Narasimhaya Praladadayane Hiranyakashipurvakshaya Shilatanakanakhalaye Ito nasingo parato nasingo Yato yamitato nasingo Pahir nasingo hridaye nasingo Narashringhamadim sharanam prapade Tava karakamalavare Nakhamadbhutta shringhaya Dalita hiranyakashipu Tanu bhringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Nasingadev, Jaya Nasingadev, Jaya Nasingadev, Jaya Nara Hari, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jagat Guru, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Patita Pavan, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai, Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Jai.
Jai, thank you very much, Jai Radhe.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So thank you very much for everybody joining us today for this Sunday program. The one festival I know is that is coming, it's Sunday for Akadashi. So Putrada Akadashi, but I don't have a calendar, so I don't know if there's anything in the week. Vidar Prabhu, are you aware if there's anything in the week? Or you have a calendar?
I have. Where's it gone? Quick look. I'll have a quick look.
Oh, thank you.
Tuesday, 17th.
Starting
It's a clean week.
Goraka.
Clean week, everybody relax, no fasting.
So that's a great week for those devotees like myself who are not exactly fond of fasting. So Sunday is good enough for me. It's 7 days away. I can prepare myself. Well, it won't be fasting because we still get to eat chips and more potatoes. But what a wonderful program it was today with the Prabhu. You know,
Just one announcement, good news, because I was afraid that there are no more calendars available. But London Temple has decided to print more.
oh, Jai.
They hope to get them on Wednesday. I say yes. They asked me, do you want more? I say yes, I want more. Because I was going to give photocopies to those who haven't got a calendar.
Jai.
But good news. So if anybody would like calendars, please let me know. Text me, message me.
Jai, if any of the devotees that doesn't have Vidar Prabhu's number, I'm sure everybody's got Anuragis. So